Hello everyone, welcome back to Smriti Side Up. I'm Smriti, and today I'm going to talk about the final episode of Stranger Thing. As a Stranger Thing fan, it feels a bit sad that now not going to be any more Stranger Thing when the series was announced that finally fifth season is going to be there. So I was so excited, and after Will got his power, I was excited about Volume 2 and then about the finale, that how things will end. But when now it has ended, it feels a little bit sad that there's not going to be any more Stranger Thing. And if you haven't watched the final episode yet, then you should come back later for the review and for the chit chat, because there are going to be spoilers. So let's just begin. So episode starts with them going to the upside down, and they start executing their plans. The group goes on top of the tower, and 11, Hopper, Beauty, and Kali goes into they went to Hawkins lab. 11 has a little bit of nostalgia that how she was treated as a lab rat by her papa, and then she goes into the bath, and Hopper was so much motivated, and because he did not know about his her and Kali's plan, that they are going to sacrifice themselves. But 11 and Kali goes into 11's mind, and then Max joins them. So when Max comes, I was like so much excited. Now 11 will not die, because I was scared about 11, and because Max will definitely convince her, she's her best friend, and she'll definitely convince her to come back into the real world, and will just figure out something about like that is another day problem. First problem is to destroy Vecna and to stop him, and then they just go and try to save children. They show the children that who was the real monster, and somehow they try to escape. But when Vecna felt like his plan is not working, he sees into the 11's mind, and then he goes to manipulate Hopper. Then he showed him his first daughter, Sarah, and then what was Kali's and 11's plan, that you were not able to save the first one, and now the second one will also die. She has definitely planned to sacrifice himself. So this was his Vecna's plan to manipulate Hopper, and he broke the glass, and Vecna was successful in locking out 11, Max, and Kali. So they, without the bath, they were not able to go into Vecna's mind and could not save children, because 11 was helping them, and without any power, how will those children defeat Vecna? So they went into the cave, and after manipulating Hopper, Vecna comes back and tries to capture Holly, but they all went to the cave, and that cave was the only place Vecna was scared of. And later on it shows us why he was scared of, because it was the first place where Vecna came in contact with Mind Flayer, and he became what he became after that incident. So that's why Mind Flayer didn't want him to come into that space and into that cave. So when first time when Vecna was thrown out of that plant by the contact was broken, so there was a scene where Steve falls out, or falls from that tower, and my heart literally stopped, like, oh my god, they are doing it, the Duffer brothers are doing it, they are killing Steves. And when the screen went black, I was like, oh my god, it was like the same scene, like when Hopper was going to kill himself with the bombs, and the screen went black, but Hopper was still alive. And then same thing happened with Steve, that he was saved, and everyone was safe, because 11 just like interrupted in the Vecna's plan. So it happened, and everyone was safe, and they entered into that world, and where this hand was there, and they saw Mind Flayer, the hive mind. And when Will got when Will was able to see like what Vecna was doing, so he told them ki the children are all alone. He was able to see what was happening, and then children were all alone, and how Henry was so scared, and he was following the children, and then he was so scared, he saw that and he had a conversation that it was not you, it was never you, it was Mind Flayer. He manipulated you, he used you like a vessel, like I was being used. He tried to convince Henry, but Henry said ki I had a choice, I was never manipulated, I had a choice, and I chose Mind Flayer. He showed me the truth, and after that the mind flare rises and attack everyone. So they just trying to run, and like along with that, a scene happens where after coming out of that bath, Max was captured in Hawkins, and then the soldiers in Upside Down all captures Hopper, 11 and Kali, and somehow Hopper saved 11, but then he goes back to like help Kali, and just because there was kryptonite, they both were unable to use their powers. And when he was helping Kali, Hopper and Kali were captured, and they were told ki, tell me where 11 is, where is the other freak is. But when he says ki, I'm not going to tell you, so they blackmail him that they will be shooting Kali. But when Muri destroys the kryptonite, 11 was able to use power, but tab tak Kali was shot, and all the soldiers were dead, but Kali was also dead. So only three people were left, like Hopper, 11 and Muri. So now there is a conversation, emotional conversation between Hopper and 11, that you have to believe me, I'm not Sarah. Like Sarah had no choice, I do have a choice, and this is the only way. So then 11 jumps, and there is a short, she tells ki it's a shortcut, I'll go there and fight Vecna. She goes there, and when everyone is running, so she enters into mind flares and enters the fight Vecna. Now where the Vecna is, and they are like codependent on each other. Vecna wants mind flare, and mind flare wants Vecna. So there is a fight sequence between Vecna and 11, and Lucas tells everyone that we'll have to fight him. If we hurt mind flare, then we will hurt Vecna. Vecna will feel weak if mind flare is weak. So we have to help 11. So 11 is fighting Vecna, and tries to kill him, and Nancy was a bait, and then everyone starts attacking mind flare, and somehow they just gets a control on mind flare, and it is destroyed, and Vecna feels weak when mind flare was attacked, then was burnt, and everything was there. So where was the Demogorgons? I don't know. So there were a lot of memes about where were the Demogorgons when this was happening. Now Vecna just gets killed, and but he's still alive now. Like everyone feels so happy, everyone is alive. They enter into that hive mind, and rescues Holly and all of the children, and where there enters Will and Will and Joyce enters, and there's a final scene where Will just tells Vecna that we are not scared and break his hand. That was the scene where Vecna was finally killed, and then they just enter into that hive mind and look for all the children. Vecna was still alive. He was looking at Joyce, and then Joyce uses the same hammer that she axe that she was used in the first scene to just break the walls of her house, because she was the first person who got an idea that there is something supernatural happening when Will got vanished. So that's why the final blow was given by Joyce. It was like amazing scene by Duffer Brothers, written amazingly, that she was the one who ended the Vecna, because he dashed with the wrong family. So this is how Vecna was dead, hive mind was dead. And after that also there were like 50 minutes were left, and I was like, like itna easily, how can he die so easily? I was like, maybe he'll return again, maybe something else is happening. But in that scene, there was like life after everything has happened, everything is over. So they come back, and they come back, and Hopper gets the news that everyone is safe. They are traveling back. They come back into Hawkins, and then the government soldiers capture them, and they are just trying to catch 11, when we see 11 is standing back in Upside Down and just waiting to like go as planned, because I think that was the only way. Like there was no way Hopper or anyone else could have saved 11 from Dr. K and doctor and she will be treated again as same as she was treated in the childhood, like a lab rat, and she will again be misused, manipulated. And Kali has only told the truth. Kali, we all hated Kali because she was telling the truth. There was no other way 11 could have escaped them. So there is a scene where Mike tells everyone that maybe just because there were so many kryptonites, she couldn't have used her power. The nose was not bleeding, but uh, just because her sister uses the power for the last time, the person we saw was not 11. It was just an illusion, and 11 escaped. And she is in a very happy place right now, because being here, being in Hawkins, she couldn't have lived happily. So if you love 11, and after that scene we saw how their life moves on after 18 months, how everyone is happy, and after that how Lucas and Max end up together, how Joyce and Joyce proposes to Hopper, and Henderson and Harrington are happy, and everyone is just moving on in their life. And we just see कि Mike is unhappy, and we just expected, we just hope that Mike and 11 should have ended up together, but there was no way that the there was no way that she would have escaped those experiments that were going to be conducted on her. That is like, we just as a viewer want everything to end happily, but that was, I think, feel the reality. And now she is in a better place, and what Mike told was definitely 90% true. And if there was another season, maybe they'll bring back 11, but it's just a show. But as a fan, I believe that she is alive, and I believe that the 11 that was destroyed was just an illusion. And as a fan, I just say ki, if you're a fan, then you should also believe that 11 is still alive. And the show had a happy ending. And when they were keeping their books back of the Dungeons and Dragons, I just felt like maybe the light will flicker one more time and 11 will come back. But that is something very like Duffer Brothers didn't want, and they left it as an open ending, that if you want to believe that she is alive, and then you can believe that. If you don't want to believe, then you can definitely believe that she got killed during the bombing of Upside Down. So, and it ended so well that Holly was there with her friends playing Dungeons and Dragons, and Steve closing that door, and the series has finally ended. And I'm going to miss Stranger Things. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Bye bye.